This is why narcissists go crazy when you stay no contact. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're delving into a topic that many of you may have encountered in your own lives. The perplexing behavior of narcissists when you implement a no-contact strategy after being discarded by them. It's a situation that can feel incredibly unfair and confusing. After all, shouldn't it be your right to protect yourself and set boundaries? Yet, narcissists seem to react in ways that defy logic and fairness. In this video, we're shining a light on this phenomenon and exploring why narcissists go to extremes when faced with no contact. Whether you've experienced this firsthand or you're simply curious about the dynamics at play, this one's for you. Let's dive in. When you cut off contact with a narcissist after they've dumped you, their reaction can be downright baffling and unfair. It's like they want to call all the shots in your relationship. First, they toss you aside like you're disposable, making it clear they don't want you around anymore. But then, strangely, they expect you to play by their rules even after they've kicked you to the curb. They want you to keep chasing them, to put your life on hold, and to avoid finding happiness elsewhere. It's like they're keeping tabs on you, watching your every move. But if we stop and think about it, it's pretty messed up, right? Why should a narcissist get to boot you out of their life and still try to control you from afar? Well, it all comes down to their massive sense of entitlement. Narcissists genuinely believe they own people, like they're entitled to boss others around, even if those people aren't in their lives anymore. This entitlement is especially clear when they decide to dump someone. Usually they do it because they've decided that person isn't useful to them anymore. And often, they only realize this after they've spent a while tearing that person down. Once you've been belittled by a narcissist for a while, you might start feeling like a shell of your former self. It's like they've drained you dry, using you up until you're no longer useful to them. And that's when they decide to toss you aside. But here's the kicker. Even after they've dumped you, they get some sick satisfaction from knowing you're not doing well. It's messed up, but they thrive on the idea that you're still struggling and unhappy without them. It's like negative energy for them, boosting their sense of power and control. Deciding to cut ties with a narcissist is a big deal. It's when you realize you won't dance to their tune anymore. You refuse to stroke their ego or make them feel good, especially after they've shown you the door. Going no contact means you won't give them the satisfaction of seeing you beg for their attention. Instead, you focus on your own healing and progress, slowly letting go of thoughts about them. Most importantly, you keep your life private from them, embracing your freedom and moving on. When you take this approach and prioritize your own well-being after a narcissist dumps you, it can really throw them off. They're used to having all the attention and control, but suddenly you're not playing their game anymore. It hits them hard where they realize you're not drowning in sorrow, that you're out of their grasp and no longer under their spell. For many people, it's hard to wrap their heads around how much this affects the narcissist. The idea that someone would be so shaken by your decision to heal and move on is pretty mind-boggling. But here's where it gets even weirder. Right after the breakup, many folks find themselves wanting the narcissist back, even though they know they're better off without them. It's only when they start to let go of those feelings and focus on themselves that things begin to change. As time goes on and they distance themselves emotionally, starting to heal from the pain, that's when the narcissist often tries to sneak back into their lives. This sneaky move is called a hoover. It's their way of trying to regain control, usually by pretending they want to make things right or acting concerned about you. This usually happens just when you've started to get back on track, making it a critical moment. It's no coincidence. It's like they have a radar for sensing when their grip on you is slipping. So, they use tactics to try to regain control or reignite the relationship, mainly for their own benefit. When you're in the process of moving on from a narcissist, but still feel their influence lingering, that's when they swoop in. For them, this timing is crucial because they feel like they're about to lose you for good. Narcissists hate losing anyone who boosted their ego or made them feel important, which is why they often keep a list of exes they can circle back to. So, after they dump you, there might be a period of silence, could be months, even years, especially if they think you're really torn up about it. But the second they sense you're starting to heal and move on, they come creeping back, acting like they're just checking in or concerned. They might want to meet up or try to stir up old feelings with emotional appeals. It's all a ploy to make you reconsider their role in your life. But if you engage with them during this phase, it can feel like you're taking a step backward in your healing journey. You might have been making progress, but this reunion can drag you right back into emotional dependence, undoing all the hard work you've done to break free. Narcissists are really good at keeping a lineup of people they can turn to when they need attention or validation. Some call it a harem or a garage because it's like they have this collection of individuals they can call upon whenever they want, not necessarily because they genuinely want to restart a relationship, but more to remind themselves of their power over these people. Even after they've dumped you, they might still try to pull you back in, a move known as hoovering. This hoovering thing is designed to make you start missing them again, giving them a temporary ego boost before they detach once more. It's a cycle that lets them feel like they're in control, knowing they can make you fall for them again, even if they don't actually want a real relationship with you. Basically, it's a mind game they play to feel like they're winning, keeping you stuck in this loop of hoping they'll change while they enjoy their power trip. It's manipulative and keeps you stuck in a cycle of ups and downs, making it hard to break free and move on. But when you decide to cut off all contact with a narcissist and stick to it, it messes with their game plan big time. Suddenly, they can't just swoop in whenever they feel like it or check up on you casually. This lack of access throws them off because they're used to having control over you, especially after they've dumped you. When you cut off their control and influence, narcissists feel totally thrown off and kind of defeated. They're used to being able to mess with your emotions whenever they want, but when that's no longer an option, they panic. It's not like they genuinely care about you or miss you as a person. They miss the attention and admiration you used to give them. Your absence leaves a gap they're desperate to fill. So they start scheming to get back in touch, not because they want to fix things or make up, but because they want their power back. They can't stand the thought of you moving on and being happy without them. They're super competitive and always need to feel like they're on top. The idea that you might be thriving without them messes with their heads. They just can't handle the thought of you doing better than them in any way. That's why sticking to no contact can be a game changer. It not only helps you heal, but also messes with the narcissist's game plan of controlling you forever. When you cut off contact after they dump you, it throws them for a loop. They start freaking out mentally, wondering what you're up to and how they can get back in your life. But by shutting them out completely, you're basically living in their head rent-free. They can't stand not knowing what's going on with you or feeling like they're losing their grip on you. It messes with their sense of control and superiority big time. They hate the idea that you might be moving on and doing just fine without them. This drives them nuts because their whole self-image revolves around being better than everyone else. When they realize they might not be winning anymore and that you're perfectly capable of thriving without them, it messes with their head. They might start acting really weird and struggling to figure out who they are without their usual manipulative tricks. The idea that they're not always on top can seriously mess with their sense of reality. In conclusion, going no contact after being discarded is more than just a healing step. It's reclaiming your power and showing the narcissist that their control over you is not limitless. It's a bold declaration that you're moving forward, with or without their validation. Thank you for joining this discussion. If you found it helpful, or if it mirrored your own experiences, I encourage you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your engagement not only spreads awareness, but also provides support to others facing similar struggles. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. If you need further guidance or support, don't hesitate to check out the free book and information on one-on-one consultations linked in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, stay strong and keep moving forward.